Yay, we're on.
Okay. Yay. Hello, hello, hello. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody, wherever you are watching this from. Welcome to the webinar, the battle within how to end it permanently. And I have with me an amazing personality today on the show, where I call it the show because you are going to have a very good time. So it's going to be an hour. The show it's an interview style. You get to see this person, this amazing person that I'm going to introduce to you. So I ask you to give me an hour of your time. Okay? I'm going to introduce this person to you. She is a fabulous person. She is somebody that I've known for over a year. She is a thought transformation expert. So she teaches you how to think so that you can really banish negative, toxic thoughts from your mind and learn how to think positively in a way that influences change in your life. No, she is a person that works with female CEOs. She works with executives, coaches, consultants, trainers, and speakers. And she teaches them how to use the power of thinking to get ahead in their careers and also to just make enough sales and record lots of successes in their business. All right. So for the next hour, I want to ask you to put away your phones, put away your iPads. I want you to grab a piece of pen and paper. I also want you to just turn off every TV and distraction and just give me your undivided attention as I introduce to you Coach Kemi Oyeshola of How to Think. Hello and welcome.
Hi, Margaret. Thank you. I was wondering who you were talking about, but I realized it's me. Thanks for that fabulous introduction.
Oh, you are so welcome. Coach Kemi, please introduce yourself to us and just tell us a little bit about yourself.
Oh, okay. You have introduced me, I think, but a little bit about myself. I'm a mom of two young adults in their 20s and a grandmother, that's the high point, of the littlest, cutest, almost 3-year-old
That's amazing.
boy. He is just lovely. He is high energy, but he is worth it. By the time I'm done at the end of the day, oh my goodness, I'm so glad he's in bed right now. Excuse me. And I work with all kinds of people as well as young people. Do you hear me echoing? I can hear an
I don't hear you echoing. I hear you just perfectly. So,
okay.
okay.
I'm echoing here.
All right.
I don't know what that is. Okay, so uh, that's the high point. I work as a thought transformation coach and expert, and I love what I do. I think it's a privilege to know that if you don't change, I'm always looking for the basis, the root, not the fruit. If I can change the root, feed the root to the right things, I'll get the kind of fruit I want when it comes to harvest time. So that means if I can change what I do, I'll make the kind of money I want and even more. If I just know that one specific thing I need to do to make sure I make that kind of money. I lived a frustrated life and I was fed up of it. And that's why I do what I do. And I help others get out of that same morass.
Well, thank you so very much for really sharing personal details. My next question for you is this. How did you get into doing what you do today? I mean, especially when it comes to thinking and how to think.
Okay, that's sometimes I don't know how I created those questions, Margaret. And anytime I get to this question, what did I put that there? Anyway, um, yeah, it came as a result of a separation and a subsequent divorce from my husband. We had been married 16 and a half years. He was my pastor. I attended his church. We helped other couples who wanted to break up, and we helped such that God used us, and all was well. But ours was terrible. And so after 16 and a half years, I couldn't do it anymore because I knew there was more to my life than fighting for my marriage and all that. But I didn't want it to break, which is why I stayed that long. But when it broke, I don't know about other people, but I talked to God. So I said, God, this was not supposed to happen. What happened? Like, it wasn't supposed to happen. I'm a Christian, blah, blah. And he said, it's because of the way you think. I said, pardon? Now, I thought God was joking, seriously. So I said, be serious, Lord. Seriously, why did this? Because that was too simple an answer to me, because we are always thinking what's new. And so I took all my Bibles, I remember putting them on the bed, all kinds of translations, Bible dictionaries, all kinds of things. And then I started to look for the word think, as if I'd never read the Bible before, but I'd never paid that word attention. And then I found it in Proverbs 23:7. For as a man thinks in his heart, so is he. I said, what?
That's powerful.
Really? Is that for real? And since then, I've been checking out that scripture, studying. And, I've heard so much about positive thinking. If positive thinking is all there is to it, then the people who think positively should be getting some great results, but they were not. And I like to get to the root of a problem. I don't like going all over the place and we try this, we try that. Let's dig in and find out what the issue is, fix it, and then we'll get the answers we need. To me, it's like going shopping to buy a particular type of orange, but you don't really know where it is. And so you go to that market, then you go to that store, and you go, before you know it, you're out of state. And I'm thinking, oh, I can't do that. It's a waste of my time. Because time is just essential. You use it right. And that's how I got into teaching people how to think.
Wow, that is really powerful. And guys, I just want to share with you that, an example of positive thinking was just a few minutes before we went live with this webinar. Coach Kemi shared with me that she wasn't feeling too well. And I really expected her to be a little bit, negative about, coming on and not feeling well. But she was very, very optimistic about today. So I just want you to commend her and congratulate her for coming on and being positive and just showing us that smile and the power of positive thinking. So that's one thing I want you guys to get from that. So my next question for you, Coach Kemi, is, so what has been the highlight for you, of all this for you since you started?
The change that I see in other people's lives is just when I did the pilot of the program I created as a result of this how to think phenomenon or model or blueprint, because people kept asking me the same questions. They had different problems, but were asking me the same questions. And I learned from a few people who had created courses and were very brilliant at it. And they say, if you want to create a course, it's better to create a course based on people who are asking you the same questions. So you don't need to spend time talking with one person. Just create a course that will answer that question. And so since I created it and I did a pilot earlier this year, it's just the change in people's lives. That for me is a huge highlight. It's such a privilege to help someone move from a place where they've been stuck in their past, stuck in their present, and some people are already stuck in their future. They just don't know. It's when they get there, they'll realize that, oh my goodness, I was there last year and there again. I still can't do anything. And then we begin to, with respect to you, Margaret, we begin to give it a medical name. I'm depressed. It must be dyslexia or something, we begin to look for a reason for our choice to think toxic stuff, to have stinking thinking. We do not take responsibility for where we are. We want to pass the buck and say it was the government's fault. It was, the nation's fault. I mean, how many people will be able to do anything about it? There was something I used to hear a lot. Everybody's not like you, Kemi. And I said, you are right. Nobody's meant to be like me. You are you. But just because I'm you, I wasn't chosen to make it in life and you supposed to fail. That will make God look really funky. That's he chose some and and he messed some up. That's just not cool. You have what it takes. I have what it takes. So let's do this. And the highlight for me is just the change. Sometimes it's difficult to get through to them because I've got to be tough and say, look, where you are today is your fault. It's not the fault of the masses. It's not the fault of the children. It's not the fault of the government, not the fault of the law. It's you. So the highlight for me is when I can break through and help people to see that, accept that, and begin to intentionally and deliberately make the changes they need to make. Oh, there is nothing like that. Nothing
Wow.
like
Yes. Thank you so much for that. And I have to add that that is absolutely true. I have been in healthcare for about 7 years now. And one of the things that I see a lot is that um, you cannot really motivate a client to heal if the client is not involved, if the client is not involved and willing to take that first step. So there has to be like an internal, motivator for clients to take that first step towards healing before you as an external control mechanism can have an impact, have an effect on the person's life. So I really appreciate you for what you do and how you inspire people to really take the first step into changing the way to think. And I know that this is not an easy process. You know what I mean? It's not an easy process, which leads me to think, when people have been chronically thinking about negative thoughts, how do your clients and your friends react when you tell them that you teach people how to think? It's been a vicious cycle for a very long time. How do they respond to that when you tell them you teach people how to think?
that. I get a quizzical look like, huh? Like, what? Why you sorry? And then it goes with a, oh, really? That's interesting. And with that expression, that phrase is an underlying question, like, tell me more. They don't say that mostly, but I go ahead and I tell them more. And so I have to have a conversation because everyone thinks, and I can hear the bells and the whistles and all kinds, the wheels going on in their head. Like, how is she going to teach me how to think? I think all the time. You don't teach a baby how to just think, But we come into I like this scripture, and I say you should teach your babies from day one when they're born, that they should not be conformed to the way the world they've come into is, but they should be transformed through the way they think. Because what they meet in the world is not cool, is not going to help them, not going to bless them. They're just going to be like everybody else, have the same problems everybody else is having. Theirs is going to be on a different level, a different scale, because they are who they are. It could be on a low scale, high scale, but they're going to have the same issues. But you want your babies as they get to toddler and teens or whatever, to be thinking high thoughts, not funky thoughts that will not take them and make them leaders of the pack. You don't want your kids coming, somebody did this to me. I remember this morning or this afternoon, my daughter went shopping with her son and came back, Josiah, and he said some of the shopping was on the floor, and he said, I got something for you. So he was pointing to a bag. So I said, show me. And he brought out bowls, like styrofoam disposable bowls, 2 packets. And I said, oh, okay, thank you. And I said, put them back. So he put the first one back, but he was struggling. And I heard his mom say, we don't give up, we don't give up, we don't give up. And it became a song. And he said, don't give up, we don't give up. And he put the last one in. And we all went, woo!
Wow.
It depends on what you say to your kids, what you teach them. What they see around them is going to want to pull them down. And so I have a conversation and I say, well, what I do is I teach female entrepreneurs and young people how to think. And what I'm called the blast it away thought transformation coach. And I blast away limiting, toxic, funky, stinking thinking that stops you from being and doing all you are created for. And so what are you afraid of? And I get people of like, what? Afraid me? Nah. But, because I've asked boom like that, they go, oh, afraid. Okay. I'm afraid of, and I'm afraid of. And we have a short conversation and then they get it effectively. That's my conversation.
Wow. Thank you so much for that response. And if you are just joining us, I'm with Coach Kemi. She is a thought transformation expert of how to think. And she works with female entrepreneurs and CEOs and top level executives. And she helps them to think positive thoughts so that they can move towards growth and development. And what development and growth means to you, it might be a profitability, it might be stability in your marriage, it might be in your business, it might be in partnership with whoever you are in partnership with. So I invite you to submit your questions and to just be very comfortable as we delve into the topic of how to end the battle in your mind of toxic, stinking thinking. All right, so let's move into the next question with Coach Kemi. And my question is, how do you use this in your home, in your family, in your careers, or in whatever stage of life that you're in right now?
Okay, I'm a big believer in being what I teach. So what I always say is, you can teach a parrot to say, hello, how are you? And it will say, hello, how are you? But that's it. So if a parrot
can
say it and you can say it, there is no difference between you and the parrot. But you're a higher being. You're not a parrot. The only difference is you become what you say. So the parrot may not be respectful, may not have different tones, but you can use different tones to say, hello, how are you? You can say it slowly. You can stop. You can decide, no, I'm not saying it now. But every time someone comes in, the parrot says, hello, how are you? That the parrot does not know the difference. So I use how to think on myself daily. I've got to look at things constantly. I've got to constantly look at myself, my mind. I have a mini program called CYT, Catch Yourself Thinking. And that
Catch yourself thinking.
Yeah, that works this way. You're seated and you decide you want to write a blog post, or you want to write a blog post, or you're writing a book and you've decided you're going to write until 3:30. At 3:05, you look up and you're thinking, like, what next? Yeah, I should. And then you look around and you're looking around and you see a cup on the table and it's like at the edge of the table. And you think, I better get rid of that cup. If the kids come in, they're not aware of it, we're going to have a bit of a spill. So let me just pick it up now and put it in the kitchen. So you get up. Don't forget, it's 3:05. You've decided you're going to write till 3:30. But you see the cup while you're thinking what next to write. So you take the cup to the kitchen And you go, oh, I might as well just wash it and dry it and put it away. And you put it in the kitchen, and while you're washing it, you want to dry. You see a few other things in the sink. You wash it up, and while you're washing, you know how it is. You just kind of look around again like anything else, and you see the jar of honey is almost gone, and you remember, oh, I did say I was going to get more honey, and you say, oh, I'll just dash out now. You clean up, dry, put the everything away in the cupboards. You grab your key, you get to the car, you're about to jump in, you catch yourself there. Where am I going? What am I doing here? And then you stop. Because as a man thinks in his heart, so is he. You are where you are
Absolutely.
as a result of your thought processes. So you stop and you go, where am I going? Oh, I'm going to get some honey. Why am I going to get some honey? How did that happen? So you go backwards. Oh, I was washing plates. Then I saw it and I remembered I wanted to go and buy honey. Okay, how come you are washing plates? Well, I saw a cup and I just wanted to take it to the kitchen, make sure. So what were you doing before? Oh, I was typing my blog post. By this time it's 3:20. What time are you supposed to end? 3:30. What am I doing here? Go back into the house. Finish typing. Stop at 3:30. Then go and buy your honey. You catch
Wow.
yourself thinking so that you do
Wow.
the right things at the right time. You don't just flow with what's happening. What's that about? Be in control. Be in control. In order to make more money, you can only make more money by having great influence, greater influence, greater impact on people. The more people, the more money you make, the more people you can help. So you just need to be doing what you're meant to be doing, not just floating about like people who don't have a plan or a process and then blame the weather. What's that about?
Wow. Thank you so much for sharing. And if you were just joining us on this webinar and the show, or whatever you would like to think of it as, we are talking about how to catch yourself thinking, which is a program that is developed by Coach Kemi. And I also want to add this to what you said. I noticed that a lot of us usually we have issues with um, uh, getting distracted when we do things that are meant to elevate us, things that are meant to take us to the next level. It can be things that are associated with normal tasks, like getting something, or I want to run an errand. But for most women and most people in career positions who are ready to move on to the next level, they get subdued by these thoughts when they're taking on like a project, or when they're starting to do something that at the end of it, it would project them onto a new level, onto a new position. So how do you want to tell these people that, okay, this is the way you should think, by sharing the results that you've gotten from how to think? How can you use that to motivate these people? Excuse me. How can you use that to motivate these people that, don't let this stop you from doing something that nobody has ever done? Because you are the first person that I have encountered in my life who is teaching people how to think. So, absolutely. So, from your results and the word of your testimony, you can teach other people how to think, especially when it comes to taking that leap into something else that would produce that multiplier effect for them. So from the results that you've gotten from how to think, would you mind sharing this with us so that we can be more confident and catch ourselves thinking when we are about to do something that would impact our lives?
Okay, so I'd like to share my screen from here. That way I can really answer your question and introduce the course. Will that be okay?
Absolutely. Yes, please.
Awesome. Just let me know when you see my screen, please.
All right.
Do you see it?
Yes, perfect.
Awesome. All right, so I think the first thing I'll start with is what a client said. When I did the short, the PSRA club course, this is what someone said. My passion for young people is unbelievable. However, I did not know how to channel it. I knew I had to organize a program for teenagers this year, but I did not know how to go about it. I had been praying for clarity and believing God for direction. I had also been coached by Coach Kenny. In February, I went for one of her seminars. The sessions were inspirational, practical, and thought provoking. I thought to myself, it is high time I step out. While I was still fired up, I set myself some goals during the seminar. With her support all the way, I tell you with excitement that my dream was birthed 5 months after her seminar that I went for. The feedback was great, and since then, I have moved from strength to strength. The next seminar to be held in 3 months' time. Listen, if you need someone to challenge and support you, you have her right here. I will recommend her a million times over and over again. I call her the coach with your mental whip to success. And really, no one has put it as succinctly as you have, Margaret. You know, helping people to step out and take that leap. Just do it. It gives me a buzz just doing that. And this lady had been at this for almost a year. You know, when I coached her, it wasn't at the time she came for the seminar. And I said, look, you can't do this. There are young people waiting for you. And when she did it, it was just the beginning of so much more to come. Many people sit down and moan about where they are when all they have to do is to step up and step out so that they can get more of what they like. Right, wrong, right, wrong. And the reason I put this up is because many of us make mistakes and make assumptions, and we're asking, is this right? Is this wrong? Okay, which way should I go? And that's all based on how we think. We're thinking, okay, maybe I should do it this way. No, I'll do it that way. No, this is probably what will work. We're thinking based on where we are. We're thinking based on the information we have. Our thinking should be based on where we want to go, what results we want to get, what the solutions are, and therefore take action accordingly. But if we sit back and we think this thing, that thing, the other, some are mistakes, some are assumptions, and you can't afford to do that. You've got to know where it's like getting on the road and saying you're going to visit your friend, but you don't know the way. No GPS, no address. What's that about? And then we get into our businesses and into our personal lives, and we think that things are going to be different. They are not going to be different. They are going to be just as we think, because as a man thinks in his heart, so is he. And usually we think the problem. And that's what not to think. And I found as I've been doing this over the last 8, 9 years, that people are used to thinking the problem. So I have come from a different point, and I actually have to help them realize that that's what they're doing, because people have gotten used to the fact that, oh, there's going to be a problem. So we're just going to sit down then, wait for the problem, and then it's probably going to take 5 years, but hey, you know. So look at this equation, for example, 6 divided by 2 into 1 plus 2 in bracket equals question mark. We want to change that question mark into an answer. So we look at the problem to get the answer. We are not looking at the problem. Oh gosh, what is 6.5 divided by 2? Which one do I do first? Is it what's in bracket? Is it what's in which one do I do first? And we don't know what to do because we don't have the skill set, or we don't know the rules in maths. The rules in this case is anything in brackets is what you deal with first, and then you go on from there. And so we know that it will be 1 plus 2 is 3. 2 times 3 will be 6. 6 divided by 6 is 1. So we were looking for the answer. We were looking for the solution. We didn't just sit down at the oh gosh. What? So you get this sort of thing. You go find the skill. You go hire somebody. You see, I don't teach people how to be great coaches. I teach people how to think to be great coaches. I don't teach people marketing styles and models. I'm not a marketer. I teach people how to think as a great marketer, how great marketers think. So if you need to get the skills, go get it. Don't just sit down there, because again, that's a way of thinking. Don't try and use a shortcut. Oh, I'm just going to read this. I'm just going to ask a few questions. I'm just going to copy. That shows me that you're small-minded. And my aim is to change the size of your mind. We need to think solution thoughts. So if you look at the question mark, the wheels moving in the brain, a light bulb moment. Great. I've got the answer. I've got the solution. Now, how do we make that problem a solution? You will get a light bulb moment if you stay there and you think through it. Many people do not get the answers they want because they do not sustain a thought process. They look at the problem and leave it after a short while. Oh, well, problem. Well, the wheels were moving, and they stop there. They don't go on till they get a light bulb moment. Every problem that we come across is an opportunity to help someone, to help yourself, to be better, to enter into greatness that you've never been into before. Is an opportunity for creativity and innovation. And until you stay there, you will not change. And I'll tell you a bit more about that later. And I saw this. Taking action leads to results. ACT, act. Action changes things. So if you remember that as a man thinks in his heart, so is he. Thought always comes before action. So any action we take is determined by the thoughts we have had. Any action we take is determined by the thoughts we have had. So there is nothing like, oh, I didn't mean to. Of course you did, because you thought about it. So when people say, oh, that was spontaneous. No, it wasn't. It's been proven that we are thinking 5 seconds before we actually realize we have thought. A whole 5 seconds. And when we have ingrained these thoughts in our brains, we've got to do some work to make changes. People are not ready for that, I find. And so I created a course to help. Napoleon Hill's mentor, Dale Carnegie, said, let me call to your attention a great power which is under your control. A power which is greater than poverty, greater than lack of education, greater than all your fears and superstitions combined. It is the power to take possession of your own mind and direct it to whatever ends you may desire. This profound power is the gift of the Creator, and it must have been considered the greatest of all his gifts to man, because it is the only thing over which man has the complete and unchallengeable right of control and direction. That is it. The power to take possession of your own mind and direct it to whatever ends you may desire. No one else can take control of your mind, not even hypnotists. I don't believe in that. You give your mind to a hypnotist. He can't just take it. Oh, I'm hypnotized. No, it's up to you, down to you. It's you, really. So I created PSRA Thought Transformation Blueprint, because I know thinking is both a crucial and critical part of life. And that's what PSRA means: problem, solution, result, action. I realized, I kept asking, wondering, researching, why are people not getting the results they want? And I realized because they think the problem, not the solution, not the result. And so the action they take is based on the problem. For example, you want to buy a car, you want to buy a house, you want to buy food, you don't have enough money. All you're saying is, I don't have enough money, I don't have enough money. I'm like, oh gosh, I don't have enough money. That's not what to think. That's the problem. That is not going to change. It's a problem. What do you need? A solution. So think of the solution. I need to make more money. The result is I can buy the car. So what do I need to do to make more money? That's the solution I want. That's the result that will come about. Then you take action on it. You don't take action on the problem. If you take action based on the problem, you will get problem results. So let me tell you who this course is for. It's not for everyone. It's for people who have integrity. That's the choice between what's convenient and what's right. Like Tony Dungy said, integrity is the choice between what's convenient and what's right. Some people will look at, oh gosh, I can't purchase this. It's a lot of money. It depends on you. It's the end of the year. It depends on you. Do you want to make $100 to $500 extra a month from January? Or do you just want to stay where you are? This course is also for busy people. People who are busy are people who get things done because they're busy. And so I prefer people who are busy to get on this course because they will get things done. Also, this course is also for people who have a vision. They know there is something on their inside that they have not yet tapped, something they haven't yet done. It's just beating in their heart. They have a vision. They want to go for it. That's who this course is for. So it might not be for you, but you might know somebody who it's for. Introduce them to the course. So what's in it for you? That's what's in it. What is in it for you? Yeah. What's in it for you are these models. But before I go there, it's the difference it will make in your life in terms of your productivity. This not just what you will produce, but how quickly you will produce it. The changes that you will make in your thought processes will lead to the changes that you will make in your results. The Your lifestyle will totally change. You will see with the same eyes but differently. Let me just take a sip of water. Um, Also, these are the models. We have 10 models. When I did the pilot, there were only 5 models, or was it six models, I believe. But I realized it was a lot going on, and so I had to break it down. Now we have broken it down and revised it into 12 models. Model one, I'll introduce PSRE to you. Model two is the anatomy of thought. And knowing Margaret, I'm sure she's thinking, how can you have an anatomy of thought? But there is an anatomy. Models three, four, five, and six are the 4 steps to incredible success, the butterfly way. Now, that means what the butterfly can do, the egg cannot do. The butterfly had to become different to achieve certain to achieve different things in its life, and it goes through a metamorphosis meaning change. You cannot remain the same in your thinking and expect to get a different result. That definitely is insanity. They say doing the same thing over and over again and getting the same result is insanity. No, it's thinking the same way over and over again and thinking you get a different result. That is insanity. If you think you can you can do what the caterpillar does as an egg, then that's dumb. And we are not dumb people. The egg had to change into a caterpillar, and the pupa could not do what the caterpillar was doing. But the caterpillar also knew its days were numbered, and it had to become more. The egg is for a purpose. So as your thought processes change, as your thoughts are transformed so that you can transform your results, you've got to change. Your thoughts will be transformed. That is different. You will go through a metamorphosis of thought, and really getting into the course will help. Then from the beginning, I'll be asking you to share with me your GLT. GLT stands for Genius Level Thought. And so we'll be looking at the problem, the solution, the result. And model 10 is where you'll be taking action, taking action, taking action. Now you'll be taking action from model 1. But model 10, maybe there are some things you have not done, you've kind of left undone. I'll be on your case, so you won't be able to do that anyway. And we'll be looking at just taking incredibly massive action. And modules 11 and 12 are bonus modules. Now, your investment, which I don't have written here, would have been $1,997. But one of my coaches said to me, do you know how much change you are helping people to go through. How dare you sell it at 597, which is what I was doing before. And so the usual investment is 1997, but that's not what you paid today. Let me tell you what's in the course. Some are made up of videos, some audios, some both, some modules have both. You'll have summary scripts, Word and PDF, template and worksheets, Word and PDF, and you have 24-hour access to them forever, and they're all downloadable. Can you just imagine making more money? Having steps, strategic steps to go from where you are to where you want to be and getting the results that you want. Just imagine that. I mean, I want you to sit down and consider more money in the bank, more money in your pocket, having strategic steps to fulfill what you need and getting the results you want. So today, as you can see, it's an offer to a Margaret's community. If you pay, it's pounds there, but it's dollars for you. $97 for the home study course only, or $147 home study with a weekly group coaching with me. Let me just share a few more testimonials with you. This is, I think, after the first two modules. Kemi's enthusiastic, no nonsense style is packed with gusto and infused with uncommon wisdom. This is a cutting edge course delivered by an emerging thought leader. I'm rubbing shoulders with greatness within the closed group and sharpening up quickly as a result. This is the course. The content is innovative and exceptional. I have just begun talking into Module 3. God only knows what will happen by the end of week 5. From one coach to another, more kudos to you in abundance, Coach Kemi. Thank you. Another is the first two modules have been like opening a Pandora's box. The exercises of the course removed the dust and, like an onion, started peeling layers of what had been hidden. It's releasing old thoughts to replace with new thoughts of possibilities. I cried. I diligently did homework. And somewhere in the first week, healing took place. Kemi believes in me, and that matters. Not in the ceremonial I care way. She has no problem pulling me up. In a plethora of coaches, I saw the lioness glimmer, and that's what attracted me to her. She shares honestly, showing a vulnerability that allows you not to be ashamed of your own challenges. I have started processing better, and I feel a fresh breeze in my life. This lady went on in those 6 weeks, the modules, to start a group on Facebook that has over 3,000 people now, and she talks to a minimum, without posting a post with any money, 254 engage on anything she puts on Facebook. So that is the link, but I'm going to share you a different link on there, so ignore this one. So these are the bonuses you will get for $97. Report your mind, your most precious asset, valued at $47, and the PSRA Club secret Facebook group, and that is priceless. And the course starts on the 4th of January. If you want the group coaching with me, first 5 people get a one-to-one session with me via Skype or phone for 1 hour, and that's valued at $500. All you have to do is to email me at contact@coachkemi.com, and we'll book your place. You'll also get on the PSRA Club secret Facebook group, and you'll get my PDF 5S5D, a 5-step process to making a high revenue shift in 5 days, valued at £47. And so that's that. Let me share with you the link, and I'll stop here. Oh, I thought I had gone past the hour. I was trying
Wow.
to.
I am speechless. That was such an amazing presentation. Seriously.
Thank you.
Wow.
So I'm just sharing the link for the $97. Now this is limited to only 20 people and is available for a week. Because once it's gone, it's gone. And then
Wow.
um, I don't know how to. That's just for one. I'm sure you can see the link there. And then let me go to the control room and then share the other one. Oh, hi, Jane. Jane's on.
Hello, welcome. Could you please tell us where you are watching this from and just introduce yourself to us? Yes, you are Jane. I can see you are in the chat room, and we just want to give you a shout out and just want to thank you for coming on. Okay, so while Jane is thinking about how to introduce herself to us in the chat room, I just want to share some comments on Coach Kemi's presentation. I really want to thank you for sharing that with us. And I think at the end of the day, it's all about human connection.
Hmm.
And I think that is the advantage that you have over other coaches. And I have spoken with you several times, and every time I speak with you, I leave with a deeper revelation of what I am supposed to do, of who I am. The clarity that I get is so much different than going on Google and just looking up random information about mindset. And I really do want to
Hmm.
encourage you guys to think about this really deeply. If you have somebody in your life that not only doubles as your mentor, but doubles as a prayer warrior, someone that really doesn't take no for an answer, someone that really doesn't see you as a weakling, but that sees you as a victor, as a success. I think you can't find that anywhere. And I think that is really priceless. And that is who I see in Coach Kemi, and that is who she is to me. One of the people who gave a testimonial in the presentation talked about sharing, being so vulnerable and honest in such a way that you are not ashamed of your challenges. And that is who Coach Kemi is. Her story and how she overcame the challenges in her life, and the highlight of the results that she's helped other people achieve is something that you do not want to miss out. And if you have any questions about what she can do for you and how she can help you reach your personal and career goals, just reach out to Coach Kemi, and she will leave her email down below, and you can contact her. So I promise you that you are going to get your time's worth. It is going to be valuable. It is going to be priceless. And what else can I say, Coach Kemi? If any last words for people who are so afraid, they have this vision, like you said, if you have a vision, if you have a thought, if you have a desire, but you are not sure if this is for you, Coach Kemi would, share some things with you. So Coach Kemi, just take it from here. Let's say I have something that I want to share with the world. I have a talent, I have a gift, I have a calling, but I'm so afraid of how people are going to look at me and judge me because this is cutting edge. How would you tell me to go ahead and move forward with this?
It's the same way I go ahead. My life is about me. It's not about what everybody else is. I am going to dance and celebrate my victories. And I am going to be sad at my lack of victories. I know the one I prefer. I don't have time for everybody else. They were not called, they were not given that gift. It was given to me. So it's my responsibility to make sure I do what I was created for. I don't have time for the noise around me, and neither should you. You cannot get rid of the noise, but you can decide what you listen to, the kind of noise you are around. Thoughts coming through your five senses, they don't just happen. Your five senses are constantly working. So you need to decide what goes in through any of them. Thoughts coming through your tongue, your taste, sense of taste. I'm sure you're thinking, how does that happen? Let me tell you how it happens. You're walking past and you smell freshly baked bread in a store. And you think, oh wow, that is something. Immediately there is a picture in your mind. freshly baked bread. That was through your sense of smell. Excuse me, not even sense of taste, sense of smell. And of course, immediately you begin to think of how it tasted last time you had it. And you know you've decided, I'm not going to be eating this anymore. It's not really good for me. But you know, the thought lingers and you know, it just stays there and you allow it to stay there because you can change it. You can cross the road. You can take a shortcut. You can take a long cut just so that you protect what's going on in your mind because you've got to guard your heart. Ask any millionaires, billionaires today. They had people saying, all the naysayers, the noise of the naysayers seemed to be greater than the noise of the yeasayers. Guess what? It didn't stop them. They kept going for it. They kept going for it. And so you should. You have to keep going for it. You can't stop. You can't stop, and you will only stop if you're thinking about them. Let their thoughts fill your mind. What's that about? They were not sent, you were. You do it. You might fail, you might fall, but that ain't the end of it. Get up, do it again, just because you can.
Wow. Wow, that is powerful. Wow. Wow. I really, wow, so many punchlines there, Coach Kevin.
Oh, yeah. I was
so
wondering,
many
what is she doing? What does she want to say?
I just could, I started writing some quotes and I realized that, oh my goodness, there's just too many to write. I'm going to have to watch this again and listen and just, goodness. Yes. I want to point this out. I'm going to dance and celebrate my victory.
Yes.
My victory.
Yes.
Yes. I am going to dance and celebrate my victory.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. Yes.
Thank you so very much. So, any last words, Coach Kemi? You know, did you have anything that you just want to share with us? Because I really don't want to let you go. This has been so inspiring. I wish I could keep you on forever. I just wish that you could just let it all out, just release everything.
Great too.
You know,
we could do another one. We could just talk. We could just have a conversation. Yeah, we could do another one. I love what I do.
Another one.
And any last words? Well, just we keep going one year after another. We say, oh, 2015 was like, oh, 2014 was just like 2 months ago. We're already at the end of 2015. Look, 2016 is here. Come on. That's how it's going to get faster and faster. What are you doing in each year? Wake up. I remember in one of the groups I'm in on WhatsApp, we have an under 20s, over 20s group in church. And one of the young men just came up and said, I am so upset. Work is not going right. I had been pulled up last week about my work. I feel messed up. I'm so, he used a bad English word, but he was demotivated. He was, I'm fed up. I feel like throwing a chair and quitting. And I thought, oh my gosh. And I usually come out with these tough things. So I thought, let me take my time. And let me say, and I thought, I can't. Someone was already typing, one of the young people, oh, God this and God the other. I said, what is that? You know that. We're just going to preach down your throat. So I said to him, you need to wake up. You haven't seen anything yet. Determine that you are going to decide what is happening around you and how you are going to respond to it. We are so busy blaming this, blaming that, Wake up. You haven't seen anything yet. Life is going to keep throwing you curved balls, straight balls, and they're not going to be balls made of rubber. They're going to be made of steel. Whoa. They're going to hit you sideways. They're going to come at you. You won't see it coming. What are you going to do then? What are you going to do then? I didn't quite put it that way, but that was how I wanted to put it. Then I said, look at what your sister wrote. You know this already, but you've got to make a choice. Make a choice for greatness. Don't blame Don't blame issues or whatever else you want to blame when at the end of it, you made a choice. A choice is a thought. Make a choice for greatness. It might not be a straight road there, but it is a road. Usually, the road to greatness is filled with bumps and humps and people that don't like you and people that want to stop you. But one door opens because you've decided you are going to make it, and no one and nothing is going to stop you. Nothing. You won't allow it. One day
Wow.
it just happens for you, and then people start chasing after you. Please come and speak here, come and do this, come and do that. But they don't know the struggles when you could have made a choice or made a thought to stop. They don't know. They just say, oh, he's great. He's this. Wake up. I think it's a lack of discipline. We come into the world and we just enter into the indiscipline of the world. One of the models I created an acronym from the word discipline, because there is one thing to be transformed in your thought processes, another thing to be sustained in that thought process. You see, the brain is neuroplastic, as I'm sure you know, Margaret. That means it changes. So we think up to 80,000 thoughts in a day. So we're
Wow.
constantly changing the neurons, the brains, the dendrites. They're constantly changing. Every second, a new thought, something is happening in your brain. So there's something called epigenetics. So up to the genetic level, if your father, your grandfather, your great grandfather had a disease, you can change that by the way you think. You don't have to have it, just by accepting it in your mind. As a man thinks in his heart, so is he. You don't have to accept it. It can show up in your body. You don't have to accept it. It's up to you. You can change it, because once you change the thought, that will send a message into your body, and that's how we get disease. Actually, it's been proven that 75 to 98% of the diseases we have are based on the way we think, how we think. That's why it is so critical. It's important that you know how to think. Your lack of productivity or your ability to produce has to do with how you think. Don't know how to think, you will just live a frustrated life. And that's how I lived for a long time. I just didn't know. I'm telling you, Margaret, I will sit down and copy people, copy exactly what they did, so I don't miss it. And I'll miss it. Okay, I'll sit with
Wow.
them, tell me what you did, and I still won't get it. Okay, I say, okay, give it to me ready made, and I'll do it, and I still won't get it. They will. I did it. I thought, what is it? I'm a Christian. So I thought it was the devil, it was a witch. It wasn't. It was my mind. Even God will not change your mind. He has left you. He's giving you that power, that capacity. I think the strongest thing after God is your mind. And it's up to you how you use it. Because he did not create zombies. He created people with ability, strength, and power. It needs to be done. It's your life. You don't get to practice life. You just enter into 10 p.m. and you realize, oh my gosh, it's 10 p.m. You don't practice 10 p.m. on the 16th of December 2015. You don't practice it. You just get into it. You don't practice parenting. You just have a baby and you're a parent. You don't practice parenting a teenager. They just become teenagers and you're a parent to a teenager. If you are not thinking right, oh, and I messed up as a parent over and over again, but I'm awake now. Thank God, life is easier. I think I should stop. It's way over time.
Wow, thank you so very much for sharing. And is there any lifetime to the offer? When is
Yes,
it valid to?
for a week from
Okay,
today, up until
a
the
week
20th.
from today, guys.
Yeah.
A week from today. Make sure you take advantage of this offer. And once again, I really want to thank you, Coach Kemi, for coming on and for impacting into our lives positively, to teaching us how to think. And I will let you go and do other great things in your life. And I wish you a swift recovery. Just thank you for coming on despite your illness. So,
Thank you so
uh,
much. I wouldn't have missed it for anything.
thank you so much.
I'm just
All
trying to
right, it's
my I've put it up many times, but it's not showing up.
what is that?
My email address. I don't know if you can
Oh,
see.
actually, I'm seeing it. It's
Oh,
showing up.
oh, okay. I've written it many times. Sorry. Okay. All right. I didn't know if it was. Cool. Awesome.
All right.
Okay. Thank you so much
All right. Thank you
for
so
having me.
very much. We are ending this call. Bye.
Bye bye. See ya.
All right. See you next time.
Yeah.